What is good, y'all? Welcome back to another vid. Welcome to the start of a series that I'm calling "Cause You Asked." Cause you asked. Where I'm gonna be regaling you with some tales. I'm gonna be chatting about some stuff. I'm gonna be just speaking my mind, giving my thoughts on a select few topics that you freaking asked for. Episode one, first episode, first topic of conversation, because it is a conversation, right? I'm waiting for your oohs and ahs, your laughter, clapping, snapping. Um, so yeah, don't be sparse. Don't be sparse with those. Use the like button as an applause break. um, First topic of conversation: my bike wipeouts. Every single one that I can recall to date. Let's go. So the first one that comes to memory is when I was around it was ninth grade. I think I was like 15, 16, something like that. Probably in ninth grade. I don't remember exactly, but it was it was a nice summer day, just like this one that I'm feeling on me right now. Um, it was a nice summer day. I remember not walking. I was riding my bike away from school. Now, to be completely clear, I'm not certain what time of year this was. I'm pretty sure it was around it was between like April, March, and August. It's probably between those times because the sun was crisp. It was hitting, bro, and it felt like one of those optimal pre 2020 summers. Not saying that they've gotten worse or anything, but it's real hot right now. um, I would be the last person to be a proponent of this whole climate change rhetoric that they're talking about. What am I talking about? I don't believe in science. Science is nonsense. Science is nonsense. Who takes trials and experimentation and reading and logical deduction? Who takes any of that and takes any truth away from it? That's a fool. If a person does that, I call them a fool. But I was riding my bike. It was summertime, and this is significant because I was riding my bike in my small town. I was riding towards home, away from school, down this little kind of windy hill, and I was coming around a bend, and it was a 2-lane road, no sidewalk. Right, the road ends like the 2 lanes, and then there's a little shoulder, like a tiny shoulder, maybe a foot and a half wide, and then it ends, and the road just goes downward, into gutters, or on the other side it goes downward into the hill of somebody's front yard or whatever. But I was riding on the side facing. Oh no, I was riding on the side with traffic going parallel me. So me and traffic were in the same direction. I was coming down the hill and going down and to the right. And I was riding on the shoulder of the road, and the time of year is kind of significant because it was busy, and it was really only got busy during the summer times, around evening, almost getting to rush hour, because people are going to go pick up their kids, because again, I'm riding directly from school. And so traffic was kind of clogged at this point, and I'm unsure of what time of year it was, because I was riding away from school, which means that I was either at school or near school or something, and I went to school, the school campus, in my off time to go play sports or whatever. But normally I just go to school there. But I don't recall having a backpack on in this ride. But there was, going opposite me in the far right lane, and there were only 2 lanes, in the right lane there was a school bus going towards school, filled with students, right? But I was riding my bike, and I was coming down this bend, and I was going around the turn, and there was traffic. There's a car coming like down behind me, and they were here, whatever, they were going fast, and then abruptly stopped at the car right in front of them because I guess traffic is like late afternoon, almost evening time, is getting to the gridlock hours. And yeah, so the car was speeding and it came, and I do not like riding my bike or walking for that matter with the traffic coming towards me, like coming behind me, because I can't see it, clearly. So I don't really understand. I understand the convention in America to be riding parallel traffic, like going in the same, like collinearly with traffic. I understand that convention because like that's how traffic lights are set up. That's how traffic is organized in the United States. Whatever. I don't like riding in the same direction as traffic on that same like side of the road. And so I'm like uncomfortably riding my bike. This car like speeding down comes to an abrupt halt, and this is just what keeps happening. And then I don't remember exactly what I was thinking, but I was like in the same mind. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get off. And then I got off the road, went into the gutter, and then I fell victim, subject to the massive jagged rocks that were just laying waste in the gutter beneath me laying waste in the gutter. And I don't remember getting messed up that bad. I don't remember getting cut at all, but I got up immediately and turned and saw that school bus full of kids. Like, this is when I noticed it. And they were just laughing, as they should have been, because it was hilarious. And I think there were a few friends on there or whatnot, but yeah. I just got back on my bike and I rode home. I was less than a minute away from my house, which is insane. But I don't remember. I don't remember what the time of year that was. That was the first time. The second time that I fell off my bike, this was the following year. I was at home, a different house, and it was like 12 or 1 a.m. I'm chilling. By this time, I'd started drinking, like alcohol, like not insane, but I was sipping alcohol, and I recall because around the same time period, I'd acquired a bottle of Jaeger, a big bottle of Jägermeister, and I'd had it tucked beside my bed, my sleeping quarters, and I'd acquired a taste for Jaeger. So I know that I've been drinking around that time. And this specific day, I was chilling at home, sipping on a white wine. I don't recall exactly what type it was, but like I don't remember if it was a dry white that I could have gotten from a farm that I was working at the time, or if it was a sweet white wine that was in like a blue bottle that me and my mom both liked. I don't remember what it was that time, but I was sipping on some white wine. It was like 1 a.m. I'm chilling, and I was chatting with this girl that went to my school, and in hindsight, and even at the time, I knew this was not a lady I should have been speaking to. She had a bad record, in a sense. She hung out with the druggy kids. She was wild. She seemed to kind of clearly had been like victim of a lot of different types of abuse or whatever. I don't know how to describe that without like and I don't know, but she was chill. She was chill. And I was still subject to my complexes at the time, so I befriended her, and we started chatting and whatnot. And around like 1 a.m. we FaceTimed, and I learned that she was home alone-ish. She was like, her parents weren't home, but she was just chilling with her brother. And I told her about the white wine. She said, come over. I said, say less. And then I started heading over. I hopped on my hoopty and I left the crib, destined towards hers. Um, and so I was riding, and this is a new area that I was living in, or like just a different area that I was living in. I was still familiar with it. Whatever. New area I was living in. I was riding my bike, and it was down an actually windy hill. Steep as heck, and it was dark. To make matters worse, it had recently rained, right? I was riding my bike, and I went down. Let's see if it's still recording. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you can see this beautiful foliage behind me. But I was riding my bike. I went down the hill, and I was tipsy, man, because I've been sipping for a few hours, you know? Like, I was just vibing, having it wasn't evening, but I was having an evening, you know? And so, I was going down this hill. I was coming up on a little strip of road that went over a bridge, and I had to turn completely, like a 90-degree angle. I was riding so fast coming down this hill with my little backpack on with the booze, you know, and I hit the turn. I really liked power sliding at that time, like drifting, and because I had the power brakes, and there was like loose gravel on the road. I went down. It was almost inevitable, and yeah, I remember like I just got scraped up bad. Actually, I messed up my elbow right here. There's still kind of a blemish, but whatever. I'm just dry right now. And yeah, whatever. I got up, I laughed it off, and I left, and I went back. I went toward her house. Her house wasn't that far away from mine. It was probably like 10-minute ride, and I had like 6 left after this wipeout. And so I rode to her crib. I arrived only to be greeted with what the heck are you doing here? I didn't think you were gonna come. Bro, I'm dusted. Mr. Mitten's dusted, bro. And so I didn't end up going inside because like it dawned on me at that moment that this was just simply a bad decision. Like I should not have been at her crib. I should not have, whatever. Like her family was like the hunting and conservative type, you know? It was a small white town. She's a white lady, a white girl, and I am what I am, you know? I'm a black man. I was a boy at the time. I should not have been at her crib. And so I just didn't end up going inside because I realized that this was a bad decision. I ended up just chatting with her homie, with her brother, and we just ended up chopping it up for a little bit. And then I rode home under the stars. It was a good ride. It was a contemplative ride home, which was sweet. I learned a lot, I think, or realized a lot in that moment. But yeah, that was the second time. Third time was like 2 weeks ago. I'm riding my bike. I'm on my way to school. On my way to school. This was like 4 minutes into my ride. I'm riding towards traffic because, again, I dislike riding in the same direction of traffic on the same side of the road, collinearly with traffic. I don't like riding like that. And at this moment, I'm passing a little section of sidewalk that leads onto the parking lot of a business, right? I don't like riding on the sidewalk in this town because it's a poor town and you can tell from the infrastructure. But also, I don't like riding on the bike lane because it's a poor town and people here drive like they have less to live for. So, you know what I mean? Rock and a hard place, they call it. So, but I'm riding on the bike path because it's like, it's not crazy busy at this hour. Still busy though, because, you know, the morning rush and whatnot. And it's way better to be riding on the sidewalk way better to be riding in the bike lane rather than the sidewalk at this point in my ride, because the sidewalk is just so terrible. I just got my bike tuned and like, I don't know, whatever. But I'm contemplating getting on the sidewalk at this moment because traffic is building up and I am about to get to an intersection that is just horrendous. Treacherous, dangerous, and again, these people drive as if, like, caution lives in the wind, you know? And so I'm about to take a left. I'm about to have to take a left at this intersection, and I'm pulling up, and I'm riding my bike, and I'm thinking, I don't want to get on the sidewalk, but I got to turn left. I don't want to be on the. I shouldn't be in the bike lane anymore. More cars are coming towards me, and I realize that I'm thinking while I'm riding my bike instead of just acting, and I'm about to lose my chance to merge onto the sidewalk. So I'm riding right now. I decide, okay, I gotta go, and I'm riding parallel to the sidewalk. And you know, when the sidewalks are leading onto a parking lot, it like dips down so that cars can drive into the thing without having to fucking drive over a bump, clearly. But I'm about to pass the sidewalk. I'm about to pass the parking lot, so the sidewalk is rising again. So I'm riding parallel to this thing. Let's call it like, this is the parking lot. This is the bike lane. This is the road. And then this is the curb rising again after the parking lot. And so I'm riding parallel to this thing, and I'm about to get on, and I'm trying to get on, and I ended up, like, because I was thinking for too gosh darn long, I ended up riding like that, and instead of going on to the sidewalk, I ended up just riding and just my bike just scraping on the side of the curb with my body weight, trying to put me over the curb so I can get over there. So you know what happens. I tumble, backpack and all, and I slid a little distance, probably like half a meter or whatever. It was funny. Yeah, it was funny. There's a lot of cars passing by. I don't know. I didn't get messed up at all. I had my helmet on and whatnot, and luckily I fell away from traffic, you know, because I was trying to go on the sidewalk. And yeah, I just got up, rode my bike to school. Ended up being a pretty good day, pretty great day actually. And yeah, that's that. So those are all the times. Thanks for hanging with me for a few minutes. I am gonna be doing this a lot more because I think it's fun. Gives me a reason to think about and catalog my stories and the events that have been happening in my life. And yeah, it gives me more topics and things to make videos about more frequently, more consistently. So come back again. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. Keep vibing with me. If you vibing with me, then I vibe with you. Because who doesn't like a good vibe, huh? All right. Get outside. Enjoy the rest of the summer, y'all. Peace.